Hey everyone, hope you're having a good week. Sorry that we've been so quiet recently. I've been moving house and it's been very chaotic. So apologies for any kind of sort of radio silence siren. We have been trying to chat to people, we have been interacting with people. As always, if you do have any issues and you don't want to talk about it in the group, you can just drop myself or Sam a message and we're happy to talk about that. I know that I've had some really great chats with a few of you recently, and that's been great. So yeah, thank you for that, and hopefully those conversations have helped people. What I want to talk to you guys about today is within our program we have three sections, if you like. We call them the 3 M's. So we've got mindset, movement and mindfulness, so those three. Part of the mindfulness section is what we call cold exposure. So you've probably heard us talk a little bit about that in the group, and you've seen a few posts about that. Cold exposure is basically either getting into the shower with the temperature as low as possible, or going for a swim in the sea or in a lake, safely, obviously. What happens to the body is essentially you get a huge rush of endorphins. Endorphins make you feel great, but they also help with pain-killing effect, okay? But there's one other side to cold exposure which is really important. Now, as I said, I've just moved into a new house and the shower is a power shower in this one, and it's a proper power shower. So when I'm doing my cold exposure in there, I'm getting absolutely blasted with freezing cold water, and it's one of the most intense kind of cold exposure experiences that I've done at home in the shower. And when I'm in the cold, the only way that I can make it through my 2.5 minutes, whatever I'm doing on that day, is by just focusing on my breathing. So you have to ignore everything else that is going on. You have to ignore the experience of the cold and just control the breathing. Focus on the breathing. Deep breath in and shallow breath out. So what we're actually doing is getting loads and loads of oxygen into your blood. Now, that in itself, just focusing on the breathing and ignoring what's going on with the cold, that in itself is a skill, because that's a metaphor for how you deal with chronic pain day to day. Okay, so if you pay loads of attention to pain, if you're reacting and changing what you're doing in response to your pain constantly, every time your symptoms shift up or down, doing loads more or loads less, or worrying about this or worrying about that, or my glutes hurt, I should go stretch my glutes. If you're focusing on all of those individual things and just changing your focus constantly, then it's going to be really hard to recover. What you've got to focus on is the thing. A is your goal, and then B is how you're going to get there. Okay, so if your goal is that you want to be able to play golf, we need to be focusing on the things that are going to get you there, regardless of what's happening with your pain day to day. So pain will move up and down, and yes, you should, if your pain has gone a long way up, then you should feel confident in just lowering the exercise slightly in response to that. But it doesn't mean you don't do it, or it doesn't mean that you change the exercise plan or change your session plan particularly. You got to spend your days focusing on the things you can implement and not changing it constantly in response to how your symptoms go up or down. Even when we're recovering as well, actually our symptoms will change. Back pain moves from side to side, and it doesn't mean that there's a new problem or the one has healed and now we've suddenly got something else going on. It doesn't really mean that. Pain moves and changes all the time. Your job is to focus on your mindset, your movement and your mindfulness, and get those done each day. So yes, you can adjust those up and down depending on how you feel, but you've still got to focus on getting those things done and focusing on the session that you've set out. All right. So what I want you guys to do today, well, over the next week, I want you to try that cold exposure. So getting in the shower, I get myself like one of those little Casio watches. It was like £4 or £5 or something. Very cheap, waterproof. Shower down to coldest setting, timer on, deep breath in, and shallow, gentle breath out, all right? And I just do that constantly for about 2 to 2.5 minutes. Then on with the hot water and just relax afterwards, okay? So I want you all to try that before I see you guys next. We're going to make sure we get more content out to you guys as well, and we'll interact with you guys a little bit more in the group. As I say, it's all gone a little bit crazy our end, but you know, I am in. We've moved house successfully, so we should be able to get some more content out to you guys in the foreseeable future. All right. I hope you have a great week, and I'll speak to you all again soon.